presentation will be based on how Lago used Maximilian tactics to manipulate and destroy others in Othello. Lago's character personified the traits of a Maximilian villain using his own hidden motives and manipulation to gain his own power. Lago's ability to deceive and manipulate others is a central theme in the Shakespeare's Othello novel. This illustrates the destruction of our social bonds and the consequences of Maximilian's story. Introduction to the play. William Shakespeare was an English playwright in 16th century novel. He is also a poet and an actor, dramatizing the novel of the war by the name Othello. Othello is regarded as a black African symbolizing minorities and otherings in Europe. Othello held a position as a Moorish general in the Venetian army. He secretly marries Desdemona, who is the daughter of a Venetian senator. Lago's jealousy and hatred caused the destruction of a social bond in Othello. Maximilian. Maximilian is someone who is cunning or skillful and plans strategically and willing to manipulate others to achieve his personal goals. A concept or idea derived from Niccolo Machiavelli. Niccolo Machiavelli is a 16th century political philosopher who wrote the treatise advocating the rules may use any means necessary, including deceit and manipulation, to gain and maintain power. Machiavelli is someone who has a devil in them that will destroy and deceive others completely. Definition of Maximilian traits. Maximilian traits refer to a personal style characterized by manipulation, strategic skills, self-control, and a lack of empathy, often used to achieve personal goals at the expense of others. People with Maximilian traits are often strategic, calculating, and willing to exploit others to achieve their objectives. Maximilian traits are often connected to villains in literature, particularly in Shakespeare's play and other works. These traits include a lack of moral principles, a willingness to use deceit and manipulation, and a focus on power and control. Villains such as Lago in Othello exemplify these traits, often using their deceitful skills to achieve their goals. Introduction to Lago, or you might say Iago. Iago is a central character whose manipulative and deceitful action lead to Othello's tragic downfall. Lago is both a friend and an enemy to Othello, using his power of attraction and intelligence to solve conflict and jealousy. His character is often described as a Maximilian strategist with a lack of genuine motivation for his success. Lago's interaction with other characters showcases his ability to manipulate and deceive, making him more dangerous and fearful character in the play. Lagos motives. Lagos jealousy and hatred are the emotional center around which the actions of the play can, and it derives pleasure from Othello's distress. Lagos' anger is directed to Othello for passing him over a lieutenant position to Cassio. Lagos' hatred is fueled by his belief that Othello may have slept with his wife, Emilia. He also desired for power, comparing Othello as a racial outsider. His ability and motives for power persuade him to secretly hide his motive, which makes him more dangerous. Lesson of Rodrigo. Lago had observed how Rodrigo has desire for Desdemona, so he strategically planned and manipulated Rodrigo. He deceived Rodrigo and offered false promises about getting Desdemona for him. Rodrigo is really convinced and offers Lago a huge sum of money. Lago exploits weak character to deceive Rodrigo and consume all of his money, which he cannot repay. Then plan again to kill Rodrigo because he cannot afford to repay Rodrigo's money. He views Rodrigo as a fool and a tool as a result of Rodrigo's downfalls and death. Manipulation of Cassio. Lago trapped Cassio to get drunk while on duty. Then tried to correct Cassio's drunkenness, saying to Montano that it is against the regulation for an officer in a lieutenant position to be intoxicated while on duty. Later, he forced Rodrigo to go after Cassio, who both caught up fighting and chasing each other. Again, pretended to save Rodrigo, ordering him to leave quickly. Montano soon up when Rodrigo is gone, and Cassio steps Montano. The alarm bell rang that signaled Othello to intervene. Othello tried to understand how the fight began. Lago again pretended he was also injured by the fight. Then explained how the fight started, trying to make Cassio innocent, emphasizing the fact that he was chasing after someone. He suggested the unknown man, Rodrigo, must have done something to upset Cassio. Othello believed Lago telling the story out of honest, affecting Cassio, which ruins Cassio's position. Manipulation of Othello, Part 1. Lago slowly plants a seed of doubt by manipulating Othello using indirect methods. His action led to Othello's growing suspicion of Desdemona's affair with Cassio. Lago's primary tactic is to plant seeds of doubt in Othello's mind, which he does by suggesting that Othello should observe Desdemona closely when she is with Cassio. The suggestion is made with the intention of impressing the mind of Othello. The idea that Desdemona is having an affair with Cassio. He uses the technique to slowly build jealousy towards Othello. Manipulation of Othello, Part 2. Lago manipulates the Anchises to inject doubt in Othello's mind about Desdemona's determination. The Anchises, which Othello had given to Desdemona as a symbol of their love, becomes a tool for Lago to sow mistrust. By planting the Anchises in Cassio's position, Lago creates a false narrative, suggesting that Desdemona is unfaithfulness, leading Othello to demand visual evidence of their unfaithfulness. This manipulation of recognizing false evidence and reality eventually results in Othello's tragic downfall as he became consumed by jealousy and suspicion, leading to Othello's cruelty towards Desdemona. Use of deception and appearance. Lago's character is a prime example of deception and a contrast between appearance and reality. Lago presents himself as an honest and trustworthy to Othello, but his true intentions are to manipulate and deceive. His statement, "I am not what I am," highlights his deceitful nature and the irony of his outward honesty. Lagos' manipulation of others showcase how appearance can be misleading, leading to a tragic outcomes. His motivation is complex, with hints of jealousy towards Othello, particularly regarding Desdemona, as suggested by his misleading statement. "I do love her too." Lagos' manipulation of Othello's nature is a dramatic irony, lack of morality. Lagos' character in Othello is marked by his deceit, manipulation, and jealousy, which ultimately lead to the deaths of several characters. His primary target is Othello, whom he plots to destroy through a combination of jealousy and racial prejudice. Lagos' actions are driven by his desire to revenge and his belief that Othello has betrayed him. His manipulative tactics include using Desdemona's affection against Othello, Cassio, which lead to tragic downfall of both characters. Lagos' character is a complex representation of the destruction power of jealousy and the consequences of deceitful behavior. Consequences of Lagos' action. The consequences of Lagos' action are overwhelming and multiple destruction towards other characters. This manipulating lead to the downfall of Othello, Desdemona, and Cassio, as well as the destruction of the noble Provencal families. Lagos' inhuman pleasure in Othello's distress and his role in the tragic events of the play highlights the destruction force of jealousy and deception. This action not only result in the loss of life and property, but also serve as a scary tale about the dangers of manipulation and the consequences of hidden unfounded suspicion. This character incorporates the typical traits of a Machiavellian villain. He is a master manipulator who uses deceit and skills to achieve his goals by controlling others, think strategically, and lack of moral principles. His ability to deceive and manipulate others while maintaining his reputation for honesty. So his skill in using others as a tool to his advantage. His betrayal of Othello and other characters, including Desdemona, highlight his ruthless and immoral nature. Lago character is a perfect example of Machiavellian villain, as he operates his secrecy and uses others as a tool and a tools to achieve his own end. manipulation and deception revolve around the character of Lagos, skillful tactics that lead to Othello's tragic downfall. Manipulation and deception can lead to tragic consequences when power is used without morality. This action can result in the destruction of lives, as seen in various historical and contemporary